Hi, and welcome back to 365 Days with mxmtoon. I'm Maia, singer, songwriter, videomaker, Oakland native, and a scholar of the seas. I'm also a huge history nerd. I love untold stories, gross facts, hidden secrets, anything weird, dark, and funky from the past. Each day, I'm going to share some of my favorite deep cuts with you, so let's take a look at today's stories with a warning for content about drugs.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 365 mxmtoon.
Today, in 1999, the U.S. Coast Guard had one of their largest drug busts in U.S. history. A ship was headed for Houston, Texas, and it had 9,500 pounds of cocaine on board. Let's reverse and figure out how all of this went down. The ship itself was a 580-ton freight ship, Greek-owned and Panama-registered, that went by the name Con. Its official purpose was transporting 26,000 tons of iron ore from Brazil to Houston. The ship was about 125 miles from the coast of Jamaica when the Coast Guard stopped it. The Coast Guard were riding a Navy ship called the Whirlwind. The Coast Guard officers got on the ship in the Caribbean with permission from the captain. Upon the first round of searching, nothing suspicious was found, but the Coast Guard stayed to do a second search, and the second team found footprints in one of the large piles of iron ore. The footprints were, of course, suspicious. So the officers began to dig into the iron ore. They kept digging until they found almost 5 tons of cocaine. It was sealed in bales and reportedly enough to fill a living room. 5 members of the crew, including the captain, were arrested by the Coast Guard. The U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Rodney Slater, later said that this was enough cocaine to put one dose in the hands of every minor in school across the United States, from kindergarten to high school. The discovered cocaine was worth $186 million, according to the Drug Enforcement Administration. The Coast Guard worked with the Customs Service and the DEA. The freighter ended up being held at Greensport Terminal on the Houston Ship's Channel. It was the largest seizure of cocaine ever held coming into Texas, and one of the 5 largest in the United States at the time. The largest seizure was off of Panama in 1995, with 12 tons of cocaine. The Coast Guard routinely intercepts ships coming into American ports to look for drugs that may be hidden aboard. There was no particular reason for the Coast Guard to search the Con. It was simply a part of normal procedure. The Coast Guard has quite a history of large-scale cocaine busts, since the Coast Guard is technically a law enforcement agency. They get wrapped up in more criminal investigations than the other branches of the military, and that often involves smuggling, which in the modern age means smuggling of drugs. Here's some other times the Coast Guard caught cocaine on the run. In April 2001, a U.S. Customs plane spied a fishing ship, the Sveta Maru, sailing without any visible fishing equipment. This made them suspicious, and the Coast Guard came to check the ship. It took them 5 days of searching, but they ended up finding a secret compartment below the fishing hold, full of 26,931 pounds of cocaine. In March of 2007, the Coast Guard ship Hamilton and Sherman investigated the Panamanian cargo ship, the Gaton, and recovered 43,000 pounds of cocaine. Had the cocaine made it to the streets, it could have sold for $880 million. Just a few years before this raid in 1999, a combination Coast Guard and Navy team were sent to investigate a ship that was suspected of smuggling in 1995. This raid set the then world record for cocaine seizure, with 12 tons of cocaine hidden inside 2 waste oil tanks. That cocaine would be worth $230 million today. It's not just ships that carry secret layers of cocaine, though. In 2015, the Coast Guard ship Cutter Bertolf went after a submarine that was suspected of smuggling. The suspicion was right. The submarine wasn't even an official vehicle. It was just built by an amateur, and it was full of 18,000 pounds of cocaine. Just a few months prior, another sub had been caught with illegal cocaine aboard. The Coast Guard were able to offload 12,000 pounds of it, but the submarine sank before more could be seized, or they could figure out how exactly much was on the sub. The freighter eventually went up for auction. The U.S. government auctioned off the Con 4 months after the incident in Orange, Texas. The ship weighed more than 27,000 tons, and I wonder where it is today. Today, in 2014, Against Me released the album Transgender Dysphoria Blues. It was their first album after their lead singer, Laura Jane Grace, came out as a transgender woman. The album uses music as a way to discuss gender dysphoria and the experience of transitioning, and served as a public coming out for Laura Jane Grace while sticking to the band's genre of punk metal. Laura was one of the first famous punk rockers to come out as trans, paving the way for younger fans of the genre who can see her as a positive idol of self-acceptance. And now for our final segment of the day, I'm going to be going into my own photo archives to see what I was up to on a January 21st in my life. On January 21st, 2019, it looks like I bought my first MIDI keyboard, and I feel like in 2019, that was when I started making my own money in 2018, but like in 2019, I actually could do stuff with it, and that was a really exciting purchase for me because I went to the Guitar Center all by myself and took a lift there, and I got myself a MIDI keyboard, and I was so excited about it. I barely use it now because I don't understand how, but I remember fiddling around on it, and I really loved it, and I took it on my first tour too. That's all for today. Let's travel back in time again tomorrow. Remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow along at 365 Days mxmtoon on all platforms.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 360